Welcome to Digimap for Schools. This user tutorial will cover the main features of the Digimap for Schools service. These include logging in, finding a map, adding annotations, using the measurement tool, saving my map and printing my map. Chapter 1. Logging in. In order to use the Digimap for Schools service, you will first have to go to the URL digimapforschools.edina.ac.uk. Once you get to this page, you should then hit the login button. This will bring you to the login page whereby you enter your username and password for the service. If you do not have this username and password, contact our support. The number and email is on the side of the screen now. Chapter 2. Finding a map. There are two ways of finding maps in Digimap for Schools. The first is using the search facility on the left hand side of the screen here. You can either enter postcodes or the place name. For the moment I'm going to type in my postcode. When we type it in, I've made a mistake. If we type it in and then hit the go button, we'll be brought into the relevant map. As you can see, we've been brought into a detailed map of the M21FG postcode. By clicking on the screen and using the mouse, we're also able to pan around the map onto different areas. We can also use the zoom and pan functions on the right hand side of the screen. By zooming in, we get an even more detailed map of the area, and by zooming in again, we get a more detailed map again. We also have the ability to search by place name. In this instance, I'm going to search for Manchester. So by typing it in and pressing go, we then select the relevant Manchester and hit the go button. As you can see, we're presented with an overview map of the Manchester area. Again, by using the mouse, we can pan around the area. I am now going to show the second method of finding maps. This involves zooming in on maps. So I've zoomed out to the furthest level and will proceed to double click on the screen, and we can zoom in on the area we want. As you can see, panning around and centering, we will zoom on the mouse click and it will constantly be centered. So as you can see, by clicking on the city center, we can zoom in on where the mouse is pointed. Again, we can pan and move around. In order to zoom out, we simply use the zoom bar on the right hand side of the screen. By clicking on this, we can zoom to the relevant map. Using the arrow buttons at the top right allows us to pan the map as well. Chapter 3. Adding annotations. Digimap for School has the ability to add text and place markers onto your map. The toolbar above allows you to add annotations. For the moment, we're just going to add some markers onto our map. As you can see, there are several different types of markers, so we'll just put them on now to represent different places. With these labels or markers, you can actually add text to them as well by adding labels. For the moment, I'm just going to add to my home and my gym. The text is quite big in my home, so I'm going to change the size to small for my gym, just to illustrate the different text sizes. We also have the ability to draw lines, which could represent routes on your map. This is done by hitting the draw line option. We can change the colour as well accordingly. So for the time being, we'll draw a red line. We do this by clicking once, then drawing a route. We can move the toolbar if it gets in the way and continue drawing. To finish drawing your route, you simply double click. We also have the ability to move these labels and delete them. And we also have the ability to delete all our labels by clicking on the delete all or remove all. Chapter 4. Using the measurement tools. Digimap for School has two methods of measuring. One is measuring straight lines and the second is measuring area. In this instance, we're going to measure a straight line. So if you go to measurement tools in the top toolbar and click on the straight line, then you go to the point you want to start at, click, then draw a direct line to your destination. Here I'm drawing a line from my school to my house. To end the measurement, just double click. Here you can see the final distance, 1.76 kilometers. I'm now going to show you the measured area tool. To do this, I need to zoom in slightly because I'm going to try and measure the area of my school playground. So I'm just going to zoom in on my school to an adequate level, pan around so I can get a good view of it, and then I go to the measurement tool, I select the area, and I now, by clicking and plotting, each click will allow you to move. I'm now measuring the complete area of my school playground. Again, if the box gets in the way, we can move it and continue. As you can see, the area increases and we now have the full area of the school playground. Chapter 5. Saving my map. Digimap for School now has the ability to save your maps. This is quite simply done by using the save icon, which says save current map, and entering in some details about it. So we can give our map a title. We also need the pupil name. This is to distinguish between the maps. And we also have a class, allowing us to filter our results to each class. And all we simply do at this stage is hit the save button. We're told that our map has been saved, and in order to locate the map again, we simply go to the folder which says open a saved map, and we are able to locate our map here. If this was a real classroom situation, we could also filter our results by title, class, date, and pupil name. Chapter 6. Printing my map. Digimap for School allows you to print maps in a PDF format. You simply zoom to the level you want to print at, then use the left hand side of the screen to print. You can add grid lines or leave them off your map. You simply need to add a title and also enter your name, which will be printed on the map. You can also choose your map size. It can be either A3 or A4, and also your orientation, portrait or landscape. Once you print the map, you'll be able to sort of view the PDF. This is the one from the screen we've just done. I've also given an illustration of one at a more detailed level. These really do look much better when printed out, but these are simply an illustration.